Good evening. Welcome, idiots. We get to do this at least one more time this season. The NCAA tournament is set. Missouri is a part of it. They will play the Miami Hurricanes in the Enterprise Center in St. Louis sometime on Friday. In the words of Dennis Gates and CPR 56, it's drivable. Be there. Drew King and I will be there on Friday afternoon. The party popper is released. Missouri is in the field. And Drew, this is 2 years in a row. Will we learn our lesson? It is a waste of our time to go through every prediction and worry about every seed because nobody freaking knows.
Yeah, no, I think I texted you at some point this afternoon and I said I think I'm ready to talk about actual basketball again because I was going crazy with a lot of folks, trying to figure out well, are they getting sent to Dayton? Are they gonna, get this 10 seed? Where are they gonna get sent to? So yeah, I'm glad that we finally got it all out the way now and we can focus back on the actual basketball talk. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah. Todd Hartstein, appreciate the super chat. If you got comments, questions, put them in the chat. We'll get to them. We got some voicemails.
Hey,
we're going to hang out here.
Shout out to Todd for he just gives us $2 and never says anything.
Right.
Todd's the best.
I appreciate it. Yeah. Say something if you want, Todd. If you want to say something to us, we will certainly listen to it. But we do appreciate the tips for our efforts. And look, we're not going to get a ton into matchups. Drew's looked up a little bit about Miami. He certainly knows more about them than I do. But this is more just kind of instant reaction. And Drew, I just looked. Matt Norlander just tweeted out the seed list. Not only was Missouri a 10 seed, they were actually ahead of Texas A&M. Missouri was 39. Texas A&M was 40. A&M would have been the next team up in Dayton, not Missouri.
Yeah, it was interesting looking at bracket matrix today. I think, there's 100-something forecasts that get put out, and only a third of them had Mizzou as a 10 seed going into today's games. And you and I were talking well, it seems realistic enough. I don't think that Dayton's a foregone conclusion. And, we were looking at a team like an NC State or a Texas A&M or, somebody else. UCF, who was right there on the 10-11 line and saying well, what makes them all that much better than Mizzou's resume? And so, I don't know that this was a huge surprise, but I do know a lot of people had them penciled in for the play-in game, and I think it's a pretty big relief for everybody that they aren't having to play in that game, us included. I don't think anybody was interested in going to Dayton.
And it's not, I promise, and Scott Fitz, Ron Davis, appreciate the super chats, guys. We've got those up on the screen. I promise it's not like anti-Dayton slander. I have nothing against the city of Dayton. My issue was I got to find airfare, maybe leaving as soon as Monday morning, and it's got to be a one-way ticket because we don't know if you're just coming back home on Wednesday or where you might be going. Now, you literally drive to St. Louis on Thursday morning, and I will drive over there on Friday. And I want to also put this out on the Game Time. There have been some things that indicate it's an 8:55 Friday night tip. That was a fake tweet. I fell for it. Now, Yahoo Sports has a story up saying Missouri is at 8:55 p.m. on Friday. But we haven't seen that from CBS. We haven't seen that from the NCAA. We haven't seen that from Missouri. So we do not yet know if that's true. It would not surprise me if Missouri-Miami is a primetime game because it should be competitive. You've got a local team, should have a good crowd. I don't think they're going to want Missouri and St. Louis at 2:00 in the afternoon. I think they'll want them when more people can go there. But that is a complete guess on my part.
Yeah, I have no idea what time they're playing, so your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah. So, instant reaction, Drew. This was the best you could hope for. I don't really know how it could now. And I want to warn. We said this same thing last year. I remember we said 6 seed, Wichita, This is the best thing you can hope for. And then Missouri went out and played very, very poorly. So that is not guaranteeing a win, but this is the best setup Dennis Gates could have.
Yeah, and I think when you look at who the 6 seeds were too, Gabe, or I'm sorry, the 7 seeds, like Miami's not at all like the worst matchup that they could have gotten. Like I'm looking
Who are
at
the other 7? I know
gosh, you're gonna
Kentucky
make me
is.
look it up. Hold on.
I know
UCLA.
Kentucky's a 7 because they play Santa Clara.
UCLA is another one, and then St. Mary's.
Okay.
And I guess I got my numbers confused. I thought Louisville was one of them, and I think they're
Louisville's
6 actually.
6.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't actually know that much about St. Mary's, and I don't know all that much about how UCLA plays.
I don't know anything about Miami except CY coaches there, and Marcus Allen went there.
So,
and, you know, good wishes to Marcus, who's battling lymphoma right now.
Yeah, so let's talk about kind of the connections between the two programs, right? You obviously have Dennis Gates versus his former associate head coach, Charlton Young, CY. You got Marcus Allen, who played here last year. He's obviously not going to play in this game, going through cancer treatments, but might be in the building, you know, and obviously, like, a lot of people on this staff were a part of recruiting him or coaching him as well. Then you've got Anthony Robinson versus Trey Donaldson, who's Miami's starting point guard, really good player. They went to high school together. And I remember, I think I talked to Charlie Ward for a story on Ant last year, and he was telling me how, like, they're obviously still really close to each other, but, you know, in practice, they were really, really competitive to the point that it got physical at times. So I'm really curious to watch those two play against each other. And then this ain't really a tie to Mizzou at all, but the number one matchup that's going to make or break this game is Mark Mitchell versus Malik Renew. And they're pretty similar players. They both play the 4. They're both really physical. They don't shoot a lot of threes, but they make them when they do pull up. That's going to be the deciding matchup, I think, in this game. And it might come down to, like, both guys just get theirs and maybe, like, the rest of the team has to step up. But if Mark Mitchell has a bad night, like, it's bad news for Missouri. And if Malik Renew has a bad night, it's bad news for Miami. So those two guys going at it, I think, is going to be the most exciting part about this game.
MV Racker, M Tigers 223. Appreciate the super chats. Thanks for watching, guys. And appreciate you guys tossing a little extra our way. Here's my key matchup for this game: Shawn Phillips versus the officials. It's my key matchup, maybe for every game.
So,
you know,
it's interesting you say that, Gabe. Miami ranked number 1 in the ACC in free throw rate, right? And Mizzou was obviously number 1 in the SEC in free throw rate. So both teams' bigs gonna have to stay out of foul trouble for sure.
Yeah, Freeway Jared, appreciate the super chat. The shout out Marcus Allen, MM4E. We always put super chats on the screen. I'm not going to get into name calling on the message board, but we do thank you for
I've actually
$5.
I've got a Shawn Phillips rant if you want it later in the show.
Okay, we'll get to it. We don't want to go there yet.
No,
it seems early for a Shawn Phillips rant. All right, so people are saying that Miami a 1.5 point favorite early on. Is that what you see?
I think it opened at 2.5. So if it's 1.5 now, it means like some money came in on Mizzou already. So Ken Palm, if this was played on a neutral floor, I think would have Miami as a 5-point favorite, but obviously this is going to be sort of a home game for Missouri. So I kind of get why the line is coming in lower than that figure.
Yeah, I'll say this. Like, I think that part of it's kind of overrated, to be quite honest. You know, the last postseason game Missouri played in St. Louis was in 2018. Michael Porter came back for the SEC tournament. Missouri was awful and lost to Georgia. Like, it was all there. We were all, you know, thinking we're going to be in St. Louis for 4 days. We were in St. Louis for about 4 hours. I just think it's not like it's Mizzou Arena. I mean, it will be a pro-Missouri crowd, certainly, but I think it's a little dangerous for people to I do think it is beneficial. It is as good as you could get, but I'm not sure it's going to make any difference on Friday.
That's interesting because you kind of were in the camp of like Kentucky has a big advantage at the SEC tournament because they're going to have the crowd behind them. I feel like it'll be similar in St. Louis, but I haven't been there before.
I don't know if I thought that was going to be a big factor for the game. I think Dennis Gates thought it was a big factor in the game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I did, but it will be a partisan Missouri crowd. I don't even know if there are Miami basketball fans, certainly that would travel to anyway. They could have gotten Tampa, and I'm not sure there are a lot of Miami basketball fans. But I just think my point is, I mean, hey, if Miami jumps out 12-2, the crowd's not going to matter, right? You have to give the crowd a reason to matter on Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess the one thing here, Gabe, is
I like this. Can Miami deal with the cold weather? That's a good
one. Last year at Wichita, right? I think we talked about how when you are at a neutral site like that, the crowd, the fans there who don't have a horse in the race are going to root for the underdog team by default, right? And so there was like a section of Drake fans there who were pretty loud during the game, and a lot of Mizzou fans who were there who weren't very loud during the game. And so I think that kind of like how they have played at Mizzou Arena for most of the season, having those extra fans in the seats might be able to get them going a little bit more. And so I think that it could play a factor in this one. That's my opinion.
All right. So how important is this game for this program? It's the NCAA tournament. They're all big, right? Mm-hmm. But this just feels like I texted you when this draw came out. In some ways, this actually ratchets up the pressure to me. Like, this is the second straight year we're looking at this going, all right, they gave you everything you could ask for. You have to go do it. I don't care if you beat Purdue. I mean, whatever. That's house money at that point. Man, they really need one win in this tournament.
Right, because it would be a real shame to go out on a 4-game losing streak with the season you've had. Right. Well, they didn't do it last year, but
6 of 8 last year. I mean, to collapse down the stretch.
For sure. Yeah. And kind of like you mentioned, Gabe, the narrative on Dennis Gates and his tenure at Missouri so far has been putting his team in the best possible position heading into March, and then it all just unraveling on him, right? You think about his first year, he beats Utah State. He's got Princeton next. Can't beat Princeton in the second round, right? Would have been an easy Sweet 16 appearance, and everybody loves him after that, right? Next season, obviously things go sideways. Last season, they beat Alabama. They pick up their third top 5 win of the season. We're talking about them being a protected seed in the tournament. They're ranked in the top 15. They lose 6 of 8 down the stretch, and then lose to Drake even after they pick up a really good draw, right? So here we are again. They beat Tennessee for their 3rd ranked win of the year. They go on the road and they crush Mississippi State, and then they lose to Oklahoma. They lose to Arkansas. They lose to Kentucky. They've got another really golden opportunity again here. You're playing in front of, you're playing 2 hours down the road against a team who Bart Torvik says since January 1st, you've been on even footing with. It's like Miami and Missouri have a lot of similarities across the board. I'll write about that for tomorrow. This is a huge game for Dennis Gates. And if he wants to change that narrative, like, this is the game that you can do that with.
Yeah, and it was interesting. His last question, we just had about a 25-minute Zoom with Dennis. I recorded it. I'll put it up on the channel when we're done here. But his last question, I don't even know what the question was, but it frankly just, he launched into this soliloquy about the program and all of this. And he kind of went on and on about, hey man, I'm the coach and I take the bullets and I don't care what people say about me. I'll protect. Like, it didn't have anything to do with the question he was asked, but it seemed very interesting to me. It's just kind of like hey guys, we're doing okay here. I know what you think. I know what you say. I hear it and it doesn't bother me. I just thought it was interesting.
Yeah, I think at some point he started talking about the schedule too, which I mean,
Yeah, I mean, it was quite it went a lot of places.
I do feel like Dennis Gates has been more in tune with the noise about him this season, more than usual, at least. And so, yeah, I think that he's seen some of the criticisms against him, and the schedule being one of them.
Oh, he
And
brings up the schedule every press conference now.
yes, so yeah, I think that he knows like the pressures on him in this game, and we've talked about like there might be a contract extension on the line in this one. So yeah, I think that this is a pretty pivotal matchup for like whatever like the future of the program is here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think it's one game. JL Mizzou says he bought session 1 from Enterprise and it clearly states Mizzou. I don't know, guys. We don't know when game time is. It'll be released sometime in the next couple hours. Take your chances if you want. I don't really know. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, this is to get a win and then you go into round 2 against Queens College. I mean, it's all just house money at that point, right?
Well, that's the thing. I kind of listed out who my top choices would be if Mizzou got matched up against the 2 seed, and
you said
Purdue,
Queens College.
Well, I didn't say Queens, but Purdue in the last 3 years has gotten bounced by a double-digit seed twice. So absolutely, you can't rule it out that Queens College is who you're going to see in the second round.
Right. Well, and look, bottom line is second round, if you get there, you're going to be an underdog and you take your chances. Let's address this, though. Speaking of Gates,
okay,
he's kind of was right on the schedule. Like everybody, I criticized it. Everybody said that's what's going to really hurt him. Really didn't hurt him. Doesn't appear to have mattered.
No, and Rocco Miller told me that back with I think like early February. He was like, the selection committee has simply not punished teams for scheduling that way yet. And what kept Auburn out of the tournament today was that they overscheduled, and the losses to good teams did not weigh more than the wins against bad teams for Missouri.
And so Miami of Ohio's in, and they played nobody all year.
Yeah. So
and frankly, SLU's in, and they played nobody all year.
Until that changes, like I don't expect Dennis Gates's philosophy on schedule to changing.
I don't either. All right, we'll get to the voicemails in a minute. One more question for you. You mentioned Mark, and we know he's the guy on this team. Outside of him, like, who's your has to get it done key player for Missouri this week?
Trent Pierce, in my opinion.
Okay.
I think that if you can get a 6'10" guy to play like he's 6'10", it makes a huge difference. And looking at Miami's lineup, they're not small, right? They've got Ernest Uday, they've got Malik Renew, and then they've got Sheldon Henderson, who I think Trent's going to be matched up on, who's 6'6" and 240. So like it's going to be a very physical game, in my opinion, and you need Trent Pierce to play to his size in this one.
I'm torn on this one between, and the chat has said both of them, between Jaden Stone, he's got to make shots, or between anybody at point guard. Like you mentioned, Miami's point guard is Ant Robinson's teammate. That could go one of two ways. Ant Robinson could step up and play the game of his life to, or he could try to, and it could go off the rails the other way.
Trey might pick him apart. Yeah.
T.O. Barrett has won games for Missouri and he has lost games for Missouri. So maybe my ultimate answer is Mike's answer. Any guard, just any guard, please show up against Miami on Friday.
Miami ranked 16th in the ACC in turnover rate. So both teams not great at taking care of the ball.
They
Like I
like to
said,
turn the ball over.
very similar teams, Gabe.
Where did Miami rank in corner three percentage? That's the other thing we need to watch in this one.
I don't.
So
They don't show that one on Kim Pom, but I'll look into it.
okay. So all right. So look, let's jump into some voicemails because we're gonna do this again tomorrow night. We're gonna do it again Thursday night. So like, I don't want to be here for an hour and a half.
40,000 a year, a million farm trucks. Well, Gabe, Drew, we avoided Dayton. Not too excited about facing Miami, though. I feel like we're probably going to get pretty boat raced. I don't know if that's just being negative from our past 3 games, but I just don't feel good about it. And if you do beat them, you're going to get shellacked by Purdue.
I feel like that call literally was going to be the same no matter who the draw was. Like, look, there's only one way that you get a team you look at in the first round and go, I don't think that's a problem. If you're a 1 or a 2 seed, it shouldn't really be I shouldn't even say 2 seed on this show. If you are a 1 seed and you are not Virginia or Purdue, it shouldn't be a problem in round 1. But I mean, look, these are the best teams. You are going to play somebody good. We always knew Missouri would be the lower seed. There was zero chance we were going to look at the bracket. The only way we were going to look at the bracket and say, well, yeah, I think that ought to be a win is if they were in Dayton playing Miami of Ohio. Anything else was going to be a fight.
That's what I'm saying. Is like they made the tournament, Gabe. Like you're allowed to be happy. Yeah. We don't have to Eeyore this and say, I don't love the matchup against Miami. I don't love the matchup against Purdue. Like, no, they made the tournament, man.
Who literally would you love that? We have watched this team for 32 games. Who would you go into Friday going, well, I know they're going to win this game? Nobody. Literally nobody.
And as we sit here right now, I just want to remind everybody, Missouri, I don't know what happened there. Missouri currently has a chance to win the national championship. That's all you can ask for right now.
Yeah.
That's it.
And nobody is saying, oh, yay, 10 seed. This is the best it can ever get. Nobody's saying that. But like, I mean, even the second part of that call was, well, if we win that one, we're just going to lose to Purdue. Maybe like 2 seeds lose sometimes. You get the chance to go play the game. That guy's going to call it. Let's say, and I don't think it's going to happen, but it is not impossible that Missouri were to win this little 14 tournament, right? And make the Sweet 16. The next call is, well, I can't believe such and such is the 3 seed in our bracket. I don't even know who it is. I haven't even looked, but or, well, I can't believe we might have to play Arizona in the Elite Eight. Like, look, guys, you're probably not winning the national title. Don't get pissed off before the game even starts. Like, I don't understand the point of
it. By the way, the 3 seed is Gonzaga and the 6 seed is BYU in the region.
Okay. Like, again, is Missouri going to the Final Four? I feel pretty confident not. I feel pretty confident nobody in Missouri's region except the Arizona Wildcats are going to the Final Four, if you want to be quite honest about it. But like, can we at least play the game before we just pitch a fit that this sucks? They're in the tournament. We'll see.
Please.
And look, if we get a repeat of what happened in Wichita, you're allowed to say it sucked. Like, we spent that whole night from the whatever hotel we were in Wichita basically saying, oh, no, that pretty much sucked. No doubt about it. So if it happens again, you can say it, but let it happen first.
Yes. So today is not the day to be depressed about Mizzou basketball. Like, this is a good day for the team.
Right. Like, don't say your Christmas present sucked until at least December 26th.
Exactly.
Enjoy it for a day.
Gabe, 2015 Mazda CX-5, $35,000 a year, 32 waist, 33 length. Let me tell you, Gabe, I'll see you at the Midwestern downtown, 10 a.m. sharp, Friday morning. Biscuits, gravy, mimosas, and Bloody Marys. And I'll see you there, Drew King, as well. M-I-Z.
I mean, chances are you will not see us at 10 a.m., but enjoy it. It sounds like a fun day.
Hey, Gabe, it's Drew in St. Louis.
My fellow Drew.
$750,000 a year. I don't really drive, but I do have my driver take me around in my Maybach.
Nice.
We got the seed we wanted. We got the place we wanted to go to. I did buy the trough from Memorial Stadium. So, if you and Drew want to swing by on your way to Enterprise Center, I live about 10-ish minutes away. Got the trough set up in the backyard with a nice TV. You can watch a couple of the other games going on, hang out, have a few brewskis, and then we can maybe all ride down to the game together. Anyway, MIZ.
All right. Yeah, maybe. We'll see. We'll let you know. Don't call us. We'll call you, right?
Yeah. We'll have our people get in touch with your people.
Right, exactly. We'll contact your driver.
I don't care about the draw. I just want to say Petty's Army is a bitch.
Okay. I think it's Petey's is what you're looking for, but whatever.
Gabe, Drew, 53,000 Honda Civic that I plan on taking to St. Louis, 2012 Honda Civic, that is. Why do I have hope still? Ugh.
Look, that is the whole point about today, is to have hope. For what? 4 teams, it ends Tuesday or Wednesday. And by the way, we can officially say out loud now, had Missouri lost that game, I would not have counted it as an NCAA tournament appearance. They would have, Dennis Gates would have, I would not have. For 32 more teams, it is over Thursday and Friday. Like, it may be real fast, but there are, 297 teams that don't have that hope today?
Yeah. I mean, like,
better to be in than not.
The alternative was the NIT, which we definitely would not have done a live show about.
Can you break down the NIT, Drew? Can you tell me who's in it?
I was asking y'all.
Pittsburgh and Syracuse have said no, they're not playing.
I think I asked you yesterday if there's a bracket matrix for the NIT because I was curious who runs that.
I mean, I don't know how they find. Like, there's no way Auburn plays in that, right?
I mean, here's the thing. If I'm a coach, like, why not? It's more about I would do it just because, like, I have seniors on the team and want to give them one more chance to play.
I bet Keyshawn Hall and Tahad Pettiford busting their ass in the NIT.
Why not?
They really care.
Why not?
They're not showing up for that game. That's an opt-out, baby.
Good for them. I think it's, lame that you don't want to play basketball, but that's okay.
I wouldn't play it. I mean, there are programs it's worthwhile for. If you're a program that expects to be in the NCAA tournament, I would not play it. But point being, you are one of 68 teams who has a chance. Like, look, is Queens College winning the national title? Of course not. But they wake up on Thursday morning with the exact same chance to win it as 63 other teams.
Right.
Maybe not exact same.
Well, I don't know. Purdue, like, you never know.
It's happened. It's
happened.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep
Vibes
going.
are at an all-time high. Got the 3-game losing streak out of the way. Now it's time for the Sweet 16. We're winning it all. MIZ.
We have covered every extreme on this show. National title to I don't even want to play.
Yeah. Also, like, I don't know that you can call it getting a 3-game winning streak out of the way. Like, it could be a 4-game losing streak, but again, this is definitely, it gives you some momentum at least that you didn't have beforehand, right? Because if you go into Dayton and you're up against, I don't know, NC State, and SMU, like, you start feeling a little bit antsier because, like you said, Gabe, it don't really count as making the NCAA tournament. And, like, I don't know that Mizzou's chances against either team would be all that much better than their chances against Miami, right? Like, it's
the same game, yeah.
Yeah. So now instead you don't have to worry about that, and you're going to play in St. Louis, and it's against a team that, I think they have a decent chance against in the first round. There's a realistic path for Mizzou to make it to the second weekend, and I don't know that would have been there if they had gone to Dayton and gotten sent to Portland, Oregon.
Yeah. I'll say there's a realistic path to make it to the second round. I'm not yet convinced there's a realistic path to the second weekend, but we'll deal with that when we deal with it. Armore, thanks for the super chat, says need more out of Phillips than 15 minutes, 5 fouls. No question. I no question. Like, he has to stay on the floor in that game. And we will talk more about that, over the next few shows.
Okay. Just thrilled beyond belief that Mizzou is going to be playing in St. Louis. A while back, I used to bang rocks with Hunter Biden down there underneath the All
right. Well, like, I was starting to wonder if that was like if we were getting a voicemail from someone's deathbed, if this was just like the last words of someone they wanted to be on the Power Mizzou YouTube show.
Somebody needs to get that guy a glass of water.
Yeah. I don't even know what he was talking about, but I heard some buzzwords that I'm like, yeah, we're not going to go down that road here.
Gabe, it's Schiff. To quote ABBA,
thank goodness.
You can dance, having the time of your life. Welcome to the Frank Hayes Bowl, and Nevin Shapiro is not walking through that door. I think he's still on house arrest since Biden pardoned him. Anyway, Dennis should write
why are we
a letter
getting
to the committee
Biden
tonight
on every
thanking
call?
them for allowing him to avoid Dayton and basically giving him a home game all at the same time. Dennis and Jay Lucas are like twins. They both had some of the softest non-con schedules among Power 4 teams that you'll find. This should be a win just based on all of that, and we'll see if they find a way to do that or screw it up. Also, gotta love Matt Painter in the second round, and another what could have been. Everything continues to come up, Gabe. Take care.
Shift had this thing for a few years, like it's all coming up, Gabe. It's been a good run from the Drinkwitz success in 2023 to, so some good things have happened, including St. Louis. It definitely helps the travel budget, guys. No question. Like, Drew might even get to eat. You might not even have to DoorDash McDonald's for dinner on Thursday night. You
love
might
that for
actually
me.
eat real food. I kind of actually honestly forgot the Frank Haith connection, but there's that. I just think that a lot of people are going to have Shift's reaction to this, which is
it's all coming up, Gabe.
Miami. And no, this is Mizzou and Miami. Mizzou should win this game. I mean, I kind of get it. You don't think of Miami as a basketball school, although they've had like some flashes in the pan, really high level success, but it just has been a year at a time here and there.
Well, I was gonna say, like, they made the Final Four in 2023. Like,
last time they were in the tournament. Yeah.
Well, true, and that's why Jim Laird, I can't say his
name.
That's
what I'm saying, though. They have had really high highs, but it's never been sustained. Like, you don't think of it as a basketball program.
That's fair. I will say, I really like Jay Lucas as a coach. I really wanted him to be Texas's head coach. So I was really disappointed when he went to Miami. To Schiff's point, like,
hey, Texas still got in, baby.
Yeah, they Sean Miller did his job. To Schiff's point, Miami played the 340th toughest schedule, non-conference schedule in the country. Their best wins were Georgetown and Ole Miss. I think the main difference was they went 13-4 in conference play, whereas Mizzou went 10-8. So that's kind of why Miami got seated ahead. But
did I make that Miami played Florida? They lost to Florida, right?
Let me double check. Yeah, they lost to Florida 82-68 in November. Also lost to BYU by 10.
Okay.
So here's my main question, though, Gabe. What is your go-to dance move?
Oh, dude, no, that's not a thing. I don't dance. That's absolutely not.
No, I'm with you, Gabe. I was raised Baptist, so I don't really dance either.
I was raised rhythmless, so that's why I don't.
Have you seen the movie Hitch? Actually, with
I
Will
have not.
Smith and Kevin James.
And Kevin, I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
Okay, there's a scene there where like Will Smith is trying to teach Kevin James how to dance, and Kevin James is like, I already know how to dance, and he shows him, and it's like, Carlton dance moves, and
Yeah.
Will Smith is like, no, this is you right here, right? This is you.
Oh yeah,
this is you.
Exactly, 100%. That's it, man. No dancing.
Hey Gabe,
All right,
$70,000, 2018 Corolla, Mizzou fan for life since born in the 70s. I don't think they've ever played in St. Louis in the tournament, but it's making me want to fly out from the Northwest, take that 4-hour flight to St. Louis just to see this happen. Anyway, let's go Tigers, MIZ.
Yeah, I don't think they played in St. Louis in the NCAA tournament. I don't know. I didn't want to go back and look at every single site, but I would guess this is the closest they've ever played to their own campus in the postseason.
Yeah, that's a good guess. I don't know if I don't even know.
Maybe Jeff City hosted a regional one year.
Right. I don't know
Boonville.
what other sites would be closer. Springfield, maybe.
No, St. Louis closer than Springfield.
Okay, well there you go.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is as much of a home court advantage as you could possibly get this time of year.
Yo.
Gabe. Brandon C., St. Louis, Missouri, using my Power Mizzou voice to celebrate the 10-seeded Tigers. Playing in St. Louis? Are you kidding me, Gabe? What a nice present from the committee. Wow. If you'd have told me that all we had to do to get a 10 seed and play in St. Louis was lose, and then lose, and then lose, I'd say hell fucking yeah. What are we going to do? Win to get the 8 or 9 seed? I don't think so, Gabe. I will see you downtown on Friday night, Gabe. I'll be the one in Mizzou stuff. You'll be the one with your shirt off. MIZ.
That is actually an interesting point, Drew. If they win one of those last 3 games, I think they're on the 8-9 line.
I agree. And, everybody's losing their mind.
Dennis out here playing 4D chess.
Galaxy brain Dennis Gates. Because again, I put that poll out, Gabe. 450 people voted, and 90% of them wanted the 10-11 line rather than the 8-9 line. I know everybody was losing their mind about the Kentucky game, but maybe it wasn't such a bad thing.
Also, we gotta stop that they hate us and they're gonna screw us.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2 years in a row, they haven't screwed you.
Yeah,
they've actually really rewarded you. So, I know we won't. I know we'll do it again as soon as a foul is called on Shawn Phillips on Friday. I know we're gonna do the refs are obviously in the bag for powerhouse Miami basketball, but I just Missouri got treated well.
Is this where I should do my Shawn Phillips rant?
In 1 second, but aren't you kind of pissed if you're Miami and Purdue?
Oh, of course, absolutely. Yeah. Especially if I'm Purdue, because that's supposed to be, a protected seed, and St. Louis is just far enough away where it's not against the rules for Mizzou to play there, even though obviously Mizzou's going to have a lot of fans in the building. So yeah, I'm really annoyed if I'm Purdue and Miami.
I'm just going to look. I'm calling up the bracket here. Missouri easily could have switched places with UCLA is a Big Ten team, right? Yeah. Missouri. Oh no, Missouri could have just switched places with UCF.
Mm-hmm.
Missouri's playing UCLA in round 1 and UConn in round 2. I'm sure that's in Buffalo or Philly. And then UCLA's playing Miami in round 1 and Purdue in round 2. Or UCF, is playing Miami and Purdue. It's easy to avoid, which is why it always surprises me when they don't avoid it.
True. I'm not on the committee. I don't know why they gave Mizzou.
Did you lose your spot this year?
Did I lose my spot?
Yeah. On the committee?
Oh, well,
they kick you off.
They were looking for a new direction, I guess. But
I got you. Drew King got Missouri a 6 seed last year, and they're like, "Yo, that was not a 6 seed.
Listen,
We're not doing this again."
I do what I can. And listen, like Keith Gill is, kind of the spokesman of the committee right now, and obviously I used to cover Texas State in the Sun Belt, so I have, spoken to Keith Gill before. I've interviewed him about a thing or two. I may or may not have his phone number in my phone. I am seeing the comments on the screen about Mizzou's tip time. I saw one that was 8:55.
Are they right?
Another that's I have no idea.
I don't either.
Because I see one that says 9:10. I'm seeing a lot of 9:10s in the chat right now.
Okay, let's see. From CBS, 9:10 tip, which would be 8:10, I think, right?
You want me to do that?
CBS announces the time in Eastern Zone. Okay, first round tip times here. I am looking through this. 10:10 p.m. Eastern on True TV, Missouri versus Miami. Dude, it is literally the last game of the first round.
Love that for me.
Now, let's say this. Here's the good thing. I kind of hate playing like Thursday morning because, like, it sucks, man. When that game's over, you're like, the tournament didn't even start and it's already over. Hey, Missouri gets the full first round experience. I'm going to let you talk for a little bit because I got to go in and edit our story and send it out. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I do.
You can do your Shawn Phillips rant here too if you want.
Okay, I'll get to that. I do like the 9:10 p.m. tip. Because we get to have breakfast with that dude now and drink Bloody Marys and eat biscuits and gravy. But two,
and take 2 naps.
2, we get to actually watch the games during the day, which a lot of people don't know this. When you're working a game, you don't really get that experience. And so now we can kind of, chill at the hotel and watch some of the games early in the morning, all through the afternoon, because that's a really late time, 9:10 p.m. It's also interesting because a lot of the East Coast SEC schools have to go through this all the time. Like if they have a 8 p.m. Central game, it's 9 p.m. there. So it's kind of new for me. It's going to be a really late night, Gabe. I'm looking forward to it, though. But Shawn Phillips, man, everybody wants to say something about him right now. And I guess I'm just going to die on the hill that, I don't think it's as bad as anyone thinks it is, I guess. I don't know what the actual issue is with Shawn Phillips. Everybody wants to call him, a lot of people, not everyone, but like people calling him emotionally weak, or mentally weak and not in control of his emotions. And there's people on the internet saying that behind a keyboard, behind a fake name and a fake profile picture. Here's my thing, Gabe. It's not Shawn Phillips's fault that he is the only, playable big man for Mizzou right now, because Ant Robinson gets into foul trouble all the time, and it's fine because they still have Jaden Stone and T.O. Barrett, right? Shawn Phillips got into foul trouble against, it was either Vanderbilt or Tennessee, and it was fine because Trent Burns came in and played really well, right? Well, now Trent Burns ain't playing so hot anymore, and all of the pressure is on Shawn Phillips now. And people are upset because he picked up 2 fouls against Kentucky, and Trent Burns came in and blew the game open, right? Like he was minus 15 in 12 minutes or something like that. That's not Shawn Phillips's fault that the other team runs up the score while he's on the bench. Go ahead, Gabe. You raising your hand.
Because I agree with Scott Fitz here. I just want to interrupt. I don't think people are mad at Shawn Phillips for getting called for regular fouls.
I disagree. I totally disagree.
Getting called for the flagrant and the technical fouls.
I totally disagree. And if you're mad about the flagrant and the technical, that realistically didn't have much of an impact on the game, right? Kentucky won by more than 2 points, which is what they got for the flagrant foul. And then the technical foul was a double.
The flagrant came at a time where it didn't affect the game. It could have really affected the game. It also was his 4th foul.
It was his 4th foul, sure. But it also was the most incidental contact flagrant foul I've ever seen, Gabe. Like, he just reached over the guy, tried to move him back, and tapped him on the face. And I get that it's a flagrant one because it was contact to the head.
I thought it was a little worse than that.
I didn't. Like, he wasn't even looking at Mo Diabate. Like, he was looking at Mark Mitchell trying to get into position for the ball. I didn't think it was that bad. And you brought the okay.
I mean, look, if it happens once, it's an accident. This is like the 7th time. You lose the benefit of the doubt. And I'm not ripping. Sean is what I've long since accepted. You have to live with some of that. You just have to live with some of it. Like, he's a guy that I think I don't think he can find that switch. Like, he needs that emotion to be effective, but at some point it's going to boil over, and they have to figure out how to turn it off before it boils over.
Okay, but that's
they
the
haven't
thing.
Figured that out.
Y'all are mad because he plays too hard. That's what you're really mad about, right? And Dennis Gates talked about it. You cannot tell him to play with less passion when everybody else on the floor ain't matching that level. It's not his fault.
I mean, it is his fault when he gets a technical and a flagrant foul.
Sure,
it is.
Yes.
There's a line that, look, it's like we've said about every other thing. We are now at the
y'all are making me want to cuss. Y'all are really making me want to cuss in the chat.
We are at the time where your season is
and I don't cuss
end with a mistake. I hope for Shawn Phillips' sake he does not pick up a flagrant foul in the NCAA tournament. Like, he has to know where that line is to go as hard as you can up to that line, but not cross that line. Like, that's the key. And it's a really hard thing, but they have to figure that out with him.
Okay, it's too late to figure it out, I guess.
Well,
but
that's the problem.
Again, it's not his fault that all of the pressure is on him to not cross that line, right? And by the way, like, all of the players are behind him, right? Dennis Gates talks about he is a leader on this team. He wanted to name Shawn Phillips a team captain, and Shawn said, I don't want that pressure because there's enough on him already. And like, people are saying,
this is what it comes down to. Scott Fitz, I agree. Without Phillips, this team has no shot. That's why it has to have him be a little bit smarter. It just does.
What's smarter though, Gabe? What specifically
hit
smarter?
The guy in the face, to not shove the guy and get it. And I understand the Tech did not lose the game. Like, the game was.
You know what happened on the Tech game? You want to know what happened on the Tech? Brandon Garrison is on the bench. No, Brandon Garrison came up and ran up on him during the timeout, and then he shoved him. Brandon Garrison wasn't even in the game at that point. He came up off the bench after Mark Pope called a timeout, walked up to Shawn Phillips and said something. And that's why he got the Tech. But everybody want to focus on Shawn Phillips shoving the guy.
If you don't shove him back, maybe he just gets the Tech. Because that's one thing. That's one thing Dennis has said this year. He said sometimes he's retaliating, and he's the one who gets caught. Don't retaliate. Like, again, it is. Is it unfair? No.
You want him to be a robot. I get it. Everybody wants him to be a robot.
I want him to not shove the guy.
That's not okay. If I run up on you, Gabe, and get in your face, what are you going to do?
Are you going to give me 2 free throws in the ball and maybe a chance to change the game?
Maybe.
Then I'm going to shut the hell up and I'm going to take the ball.
That didn't happen. First of all, it was a double technical. And Brandon Garrison would not have been called for a technical had Shawn not pushed him. And a lot of times when he's getting in guys' face, it's because they're saying something to one of his teammates and he's going up to back them up. So I get that he's had 9 flagrant fouls and 10 technicals and everybody hates him.
That's not an accident, man. You don't.
But you can contextualize so many of them, though, right? Like his 3rd foul in the game, he didn't touch the guy and picks up his 3rd foul in the first half.
Yeah, that was an awful call. Awful call.
So why is that on him?
I didn't say it was.
You did. You said you have to be smarter and stay out of foul trouble.
No, you have to be smarter on the flagrant. Once you've got, so the first foul in the game, It was a foul. He fouls.
People are upset because he took himself out the game. That's what they're actually upset about. And what I'm saying is the anger
I don't think
is
it is.
misdirected.
I really don't think
Blame Dennis Gates for not getting another big who can be on the floor and make the kind of impact that Shawn Phillips does. That's what you should be mad about. That's the end of my rant. That's the end of my rant.
But like, if this had happened once, if this had happened twice, okay. 9 flagrants, dude. Nobody else in the country, I think, has 9 flagrants. Like, that is a pattern. Who?
I said I couldn't tell you who does.
I bet nobody does.
But again, I think you can explain a lot of those flagrant fouls, Gabe. I really do. And
I do too. But again, like, I can explain. Okay, here. I can explain why Dennis Gates has lost 11 games in March over the last 3 years, but it's not going to change the fact that he's 1-11, right? Like, I can explain individually each game and why it wasn't that big a deal or it wasn't his fault or whatever, but it all adds up to this 1-11 stat that everybody is parroting. Mm-hmm. So, like, yes, I can explain that maybe he didn't deserve this one and maybe he didn't deserve that one and maybe this one was because he's just got too much passion, and that one was because he likes his teammate too much. But the bottom line is he's got 9 of them, and nobody else in the country does, and they hurt his team. Like, and they
how specifically did that flagrant foul hurt his team? Tell me.
It put him on the bench.
It's not.
I mean, it did.
Okay, why is it his problem that him going to the bench hurts his team?
I didn't say it's his fault.
Yeah, well, no, but you said like he has to be smarter. How about somebody else be smarter and play to his level, right? That's the issue with
because they're not good enough.
Okay, so why is that Shawn's fault?
Look, it's not Mark Mitchell's fault that he has to score 40 for this team to win, but he's going to have to go do it at some point. I don't know, like.
Okay, but nobody's upset. Nobody is calling Mark Mitchell mentally weak or not scoring 40 a night and his team losing. That's the difference.
I don't know. Like, look, mentally weak, all the name calling, I'm not on board with that. But I don't think it's unfair to say this team needs Shawn Phillips to control his emotions a little bit better. I don't think that's unfair. They do.
Sure.
That's all the vast majority of people are saying. I think we're falling into this trap of seeing what 6 people on a message board said. And like, I will never personally insult it.
It's not just 6 people on a message board. That's my issue.
I don't know. Maybe you've probably seen more of it than I have.
Yeah, it's in my replies every game.
I don't think there's anything wrong with saying this team badly needs Shawn Phillips on the floor and he needs to find a way to make that happen. Whatever that way is, he needs to find a way.
He knows that
to play 25 minutes against Miami.
He said that himself. He knows that.
So what's wrong with saying it? I don't even know what I truly don't know what the argument here is.
The argument is everybody wants to jump down his throat over it when like he can't make a mistake right now. That's the issue. And when he makes a mistake, everybody acts like it's the end of the world.
Here's why they act like it is, because it frequently is the end of the team's chance to win that game. Like, and no, that's not his fault, but that is the end result. Like, you know, for that 2-game stretch where Trent Burns looked like a reasonable option at center, we were reassessing this team and what they could do because we said, hey, Shawn Phillips can now play balls out for 20 minutes. And if he gets 4 fouls, it's not going to kill you. Well, it's back to killing you now. And so I don't know what that balance is for Shawn, where like he's passionate enough to be good, but also careful enough to not go to the. I don't know if that balance exists. And it is not his fault. Like, I'm not blaming him that there isn't a backup, but it is something that I think Dennis Gates and Shawn have to be aware of going into this game is, Shawn, if you were on the bench at the under 16 timeout in the first half, we are screwed. I don't care if you give up a couple layups because of it. I cannot have you sitting here next to me 4 minutes into this game. That's all I'm saying. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. That's all I'm saying.
All I'm saying is he wasn't trying to get a flagrant foul against Kentucky, and everybody assumes that like, oh, it's Shawn Phillips. He just this is just what he does, and I don't think that was the case in this specific game. Again, I'm going to die on the hill. He's going to be the most underappreciated player in the Dennis Gates era. Like that's just what it is.
Like you think it is? Do you think it is unfair to say that he has at times struggled to harness his emotions during the game?
No, but
okay.
I also kind of understand why he would have that kind of reaction in those specific situations. Like this is the amount of pressure on him to know that he cannot pick up 2 fouls, and then to have like be completely pushed around and maybe not have calls go his way. And then maybe have like some ticky-tack foul calls like he had with the 3rd one against Kentucky, not go his way. I get somebody getting frustrated in that spot because like you can't expect him to be Mark Mitchell. Mark Mitchell never fouls because Shawn Phillips does it for him. He can't be a robot.
I don't think the way he is treated by refs is unique to guys who are his size. Like I think there are a lot of guys that get that treatment because they are much bigger than everybody else and frankly much stronger. I don't know what the resolution here is because again I don't know exactly. Like, would you agree it will be a negative on Friday if Shawn Phillips gets a flagrant foul or if Shawn Phillips plays less than 20 minutes?
Yes.
Okay, I agree. They need to find a way to make sure those two things do not happen. Whatever that means, I don't really care how they do it. They just need to, they can pay the officials to make sure those things happen for all I care about. But they have to have Shawn Phillips. Like, it is in some ways a compliment to it. Like, I know that's a weird thing to say, but nobody is ripping Luke Northweather because he's not, he's not going to impact the outcome of the game. It is some ways a compliment to Shawn to say, look, man, this is how badly this team needs you to win. They cannot win a game without you being a major part of it going forward. We please need to figure out a way to make that happen.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I still just don't understand, again, the vitriol that he gets for.
So I will explain it, having been around here for 22 years and on message boards for 22 years.
Yeah.
Every team has this guy.
Okay.
Every team has a guy that just becomes that guy. After the, I don't know if you watched every Mizzou football game or not, but after the end of the Alabama game and Marquise Johnson kind of jumping around on the field, Marquise Johnson kind of became that guy this year. He was the lightning rod. Phil Pressey was that guy here for a couple years because Phil would do every single thing to keep Missouri in a game, and then he missed a 3 at the end of the game, and people are mad at him. It's like, well, he had 19 and 15 assists. He's the only reason the team was in the game. He just missed the one shot. So every team has that guy that the fan base just picks out as, this is our guy, and when something goes wrong, it's his fault. Shawn is that guy for this. It's not fair, but he is that guy for this fan base this season.
All right. I just wanted to point out it's not fair. That's all I wanted to do.
Life ain't fair. My dad told me that all the time growing up. It's not fair. Life's not fair. All right. I think we still got 3 more voicemails. Let's play them and get out.
Okay. Sorry to
10 seed in St. Louis against Miami. I can't really complain about that too much. I feel like this is about as good as he can get for him. So we can see what happened. Being in St. Louis, it should work out for him. So maybe this time around they can get something done. But, Mizzou been so up and down this year. I'm not really expecting much. But if they do something, I'll be surprised. So that'll be good. Like March Madness, this is one of the best times of the year. So hopefully it can be better.
I had this conversation with a friend, Drew. Is this the only sporting event that gets worse the longer it goes on?
I think we talked about this before, but it
like the first 2 days are awesome, and then it just gets a little bit worse every day.
I would say the NFL draft too, maybe, but it's not really a sporting event.
Fair. Yeah. Good call, though. All right. Let's hit
Long-time
the last
listener,
couple.
second-time caller. It's drivable. Be there. Jokes aside, favorable matchup for round one. I think Miami plays a very similar game to what Missouri does. And then second game, Purdue, they had a really good run. Obviously, they just beat Michigan in the Big Ten tournament. But I still think 2 is a bit high of a seed for them. They probably should be a 3 seed, but I mean, you can't knock them for being on the 2 line for beating Michigan, winning the Big Ten championship. But again, 2 de facto home games if you can win them.
Yeah, agree with it.
Oh man, I'm just so happy the game's in St. Louis so I can see that cutie pie Drew King one more time this season. And Gabe,
Why was this the last one?
To the game. Oh man.
I didn't hear what he said to me, but something about wearing a suit, I think. I'm not even
He
sure.
said that to me. He said make sure I'm wearing a suit to the game.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, there we are. Hey, you know what I like? I know where the media room is. I know where the press seating is. Yeah. I know where to park. Like, everything's going to work, man.
Well, everything except the Wi-Fi is going to work. But
the Wi-Fi is fucked. Yeah, it's not going to
work. I have a question,
also,
though.
Yeah.
When did It's Drivable be there? Like, why has that become kind of a meme for the fans?
Because I don't know, but I think Dennis said it was last year.
Last year when they got sent to Wichita.
I think he said it last year, and then probably just because they went out and played so horribly.
Okay.
Because so many fans did do it, you know. He didn't say it today, though. He didn't say it today.
Okay.
I do want to share with you guys. While we're doing this show, I got a message from somebody in the athletic department. Mizzou's ticket allotment is incredibly limited here. The schools only get a couple hundred tickets each, and that includes like family members of the staff and stuff like that. So their ability to sell tickets to season ticket holders are very, very low. If you want tickets, go to the venue, go to the NCAA site where I don't care, wherever you get tickets, just understand Mizzou is going to have a very limited number of tickets to sell. I had gotten a message about that. I told him I'd help get that message out. So if you want tickets, Friday night, 8:10, that is after Purdue and Queens at 6:35. Drew, can you tell me anything about Queens College? Doesn't have to be basketball related. Can you tell me anything?
This is their first time to the NCAA tournament. They're a pretty new program. I think this is actually like the first year they were eligible to go to the tournament. So, that's about all there is to know about them.
What's the mascot? I'm going to guess they're the Monarchs.
I think it's the Royals, maybe. I think you might be right. Okay. It might be the Monarchs. I'll double check.
Royals is acceptable. You know what I learned this week? Do you know what George Washington's? Did I text you about this? Do you know what George Washington's teams are called?
I don't remember. No.
So until 2023, they were the Colonials. They are now the Revolutionaries.
Okay.
I don't have feelings about it. I just was caught off guard by it.
Yeah, I don't know why you would need to change it, but good for them, I guess. By the way, Queen's University is the Royals.
Okay. I like it. I can accept that. All right. Look, guys, let me make sure. I think we got all the super chats. We got all the voicemails. I appreciate you guys being here. We had 500 people online Sunday night. We've got the Dennis Gates press conference. I'll upload that. Drew's going to write some stuff off that. I've got a column. I'll have 10 thoughts tomorrow. We're going to do a live show tomorrow night. We're going to hit up one of the guys from our Miami site whose name I've forgotten. Hang on. I believe it's Chris Stock. Chris Stock covers Miami for us. So we're going to have him on the show tomorrow night. I'll be on his show as well. Drew will be at Media Day Thursday. We'll do a show that night. We'll both cover the game. And then, Jesus, Drew, we're going to start a post-game show at like 12:30.
Yeah.
That's awful.
Get your caffeine ready.
FYI, I might be sleeping on your hotel room floor Friday night.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Either that or I'm driving home at 3 a.m. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, just pull the all-nighter. But I'm looking forward to it. I think, it's just a little Mizzou after dark. That's all it really is. So maybe we get an alcoholic beverage on the post-game show. You never know. We'll find out.
It depends on if we are allowed to do the show from the arena or not.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Yeah. I don't know what the last super chat means, Kyler, but appreciate it. Thanks everybody for hanging out. We got a lot of stuff to do. We'll talk to you later.